We will have a very frank discussion about future of UN, possibility of reform in UN, and its implication for Bangladesh. Bangladesh is one of the highest contributors of UN peacekeeping mission. Our engagement in the UN system is also quite heavy. Bangladesh believes in multilateralism. Bangladesh has been doing and promoting multilateralism for many, many years. But also we need to understand that where it is heading towards the whole UN structure and how Bangladesh will get affected of it.
Till today, we have given 100 plus free workshops to underprivileged people, supporting 30 deprived children for education, and supporting visually impaired people for skills development, workshop, etc. HMH Foundation won national and international awards for our social development works as well. On behalf of today's conference organizer, United Nations Association, Luton Branch, United Kingdom, HMS Foundation, South Asian Institute of Policy and Governance, SAPG, and North-South University, welcome you all in today's conference, United Nations Day, Empirical Review and Evaluation of UN Reform.
United Nations Association happened then, and happened then hasn't got really the diversity like I've seen in Luton, but because of their dedication to UN agenda, UN goals to have a peaceful world across, that excited me so much that I set it up with some like-minded people in Luton. And diversity-wise, I can see that that kind of diversity doesn't exist here in Bangladesh, but Bangladesh is connected internationally, and Bangladesh has a huge population of young people who are locally connected. And there is no reason why you shouldn't really think about everything. When you do it, act locally, you should think internationally or globally. So always act locally, but think locally. That is what we should think about.
We find that there's a sense of despair when people talk, and that is almost entirely because of the activity of the Security Council. The Security Council sits on top of the United Nations. It's the most important part in some ways. It's the only part of the United Nations which has the ability to actually call on collective action to enforce international peace and security, and it has failed. And we found that a number of United Nations associations across Britain had the same view that many of you probably have, a sense that this is wrong as far as possible, and we should try to do something to stop it.
We have an alternative organization to replace the United Nations. Historically, this is the fact that with the arrival of every great power, every great empire, there was some kind of international arrangement. In afterlife of the First World War, the League of Nations was created. It was put into operation. It did not last long, although Great Britain was at the time the dominant power, but it had to share powers with other empires of the day.
But let me start by thanking Dr. David Cheeseman for a really insightful focus on the Security Council's paralysis, and you made a very complex issue very understandable, at least for me, and I'm sure for a lot of the students. So Security Council's credibility crisis is obvious, and it's central to any serious reform in the UN system. And the UN reflects the 1945 power realities, as you pointed out, not the reality of the current state of the world.
It was distressing for those people. How do they eat? Where do they sleep? They were being persecuted, but also for the local population. And one of the really defining things about the Rohingya crisis here is that the efforts that are being done involve the host community, and the UN is also doing all the programs with the host community and the refugees.
Surveys around different diseases, to help the government set up oxygen plants during COVID-19, to help large donor agencies like the Global Fund facility, like the Global Fund to fight HIV, TB, and malaria, to help Gavi mobilize resources, then what would the world be like today? So having said that, I do want to read out some of the main bullet points from the UN80 initiative.
You don't have even UNCLOS, law of the sea. What would have happened? There would be a plethora of conflicts that could be even so great that it would be equivalent to a semi-world war. So why it didn't happen is because of the guardrails and the principles that was created through the UN system.
You are a brigadier. How come you are in maritime top and in shipping ministry? So I said, dear sir, throughout my age, I never knew why I was anywhere. So today I also have to tell you why I don't know why I am here. Because I don't have much of the inside of the United Nations. But one thing I know very for sure, since Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the proliferation of nuclear has gone, if not vertical, it has gone lateral, and it is going, still going. There are so many countries that declared that they don't have, but they have. For example, Israel definitely has a nuclear bomb. Otherwise, Iran would not have searched where is the site. Iran, again, Pakistan, of course, undeclared nuclear, but it is declared now. And to my utter surprise, the other day I was reading an article, the Russians are trying to sell in Myanmar. And Myanmar, big Myanmar, it can acquire nuclear bomb anytime.